Hey everyone, welcome back to English Flow. Have you ever kept something so close to your heart that you were afraid to touch it? Have you ever looked at an old photograph, an old gift, or an old letter and whispered to yourself, "Not today"? Funny, isn't it? Sometimes it is not the things we lose that hurt us the most. It is the things we refuse to face. And today, I want to tell you about a letter. A letter I never opened. For 15 years, it stayed with me. 15 years. It traveled with me from one city to another. It sat quietly in my drawer while my hair slowly turned gray. It watched me celebrate birthdays. It watched me cry in silence. It watched me smile when I was pretending to be happy. And still, I never opened it. People often ask me, "What is your biggest regret in life?" Was it choosing the wrong career? No. Was it losing money? No. Was it trusting the wrong people? No. My biggest regret was much smaller than that. It was an envelope. Strange, isn't it? How something so small can become so heavy. Today, I will finally tell you why. So sit back, relax, listen slowly, and perhaps by the end of this story, you may decide to open a letter that you have been hiding inside your own heart. My name doesn't really matter, because this story is not only mine, perhaps it is yours, too. I was 24 years old when I received that letter. I still remember the day. It was raining outside. Not heavily, just enough to make the world feel quiet. I had returned home from another disappointing job interview. My shoes were wet. My shoulders felt heavy, and my dreams felt smaller than they had the day before. Life wasn't going according to plan. Actually, I didn't even have a plan anymore. I smiled in front of people because that was easier than explaining my pain. Have you ever done that? Someone asks, "How are you?" And you immediately reply, "I'm fine." Not because you're fine, but because you're tired of explaining why you're not. We become very good actors sometimes. That evening, I opened my front door and saw a small envelope resting quietly on the table. There was no decoration, no colorful stamp, nothing special about it, except one thing. My name, written carefully in blue ink. For a moment, I simply stood there staring at it. I wasn't expecting any letters. Who writes letters anymore? I picked it up slowly, and then I saw something that immediately stopped me. I recognized the handwriting. It belonged to my father. My father was not a man who spoke much. He believed that actions were more valuable than words. He wasn't perfect. Neither was I. In fact, we spent most of our lives misunderstanding one another. He wanted me to become stronger. I wanted him to become softer. And somewhere between his expectations and my disappointments, we forgot how to understand each other. Do you know what hurts the most about growing older? It isn't getting wrinkles. It isn't watching time pass. It is realizing that sometimes the people we love were trying their best all along. We were simply too young to understand them. My father rarely said, "I love you." He showed his love differently. He would wake up early to drive me to school. He would wait outside when I came home late. He would pretend not to worry, while secretly worrying more than anyone else. But when you're young, you don't always recognize love when it arrives wearing ordinary clothes. You expect beautiful words. You don't notice beautiful sacrifices. Youth can be wonderfully foolish sometimes. The truth is, I spent many years believing my father was disappointed in me. Perhaps he was. Or perhaps he was simply afraid. Afraid that I would give up on myself before life had truly begun. A week before I received that letter, we had our biggest argument. I don't even remember how it started anymore. Funny how that happens. We remember the pain, but we forget the reason. Words became louder. Silence became heavier. And finally, I said something I wish I could take back. I looked directly into his eyes and said, "You don't understand me." And he quietly replied, "One day, you will understand." Those were the last words we spoke to each other. 3 days later, he left for another city because of work. I thought we would talk when he returned. Life always tricks us into believing we have more time. We say things like, "I'll call tomorrow. I'll visit next week. I'll apologize later." But life makes no promises about later. Please remember that. Never postpone kindness. Never delay love. Because tomorrow is one of life's greatest uncertainties. When I held that envelope in my hands, I immediately knew it was from him. I smiled for a moment. And then something unexpected happened. I became angry. I don't know why. Perhaps my pride was still alive. Perhaps my ego was louder than my heart. I looked at the envelope and whispered, "If he has something to say, he can tell me when he comes home." So I placed it inside my drawer. Just for one day. That was my plan. Only one day. The next morning, my phone rang at 6:30. I almost didn't answer it. And sometimes I wonder what kind of person I would have become if I hadn't. The voice on the other side was trembling. I don't remember every word. Trauma has a strange way of protecting us from painful memories. But I remember enough. There had been an accident.